Good afternoon to everyone. There are 10 students who have joined the meeting. So we will wait for some time and then we'll start the lecture. So till then you can communicate with me. You can ask questions from last lecture, or if you want to discuss with me something, then please. So okay, now let's start our lecture. I'm going to share my screen. Where did we stop in last lecture? So in last lecture, we started applications of array, and in that we looked at symbol manipulation. And in this symbol manipulation, we have seen how we can represent single variable polynomial and double variable polynomial using the array. We represented the single variable polynomial using one-dimensional array, and we also learned how to represent the two variable polynomial using two-dimensional array. And this was the slide where we stopped. And now in this you can I gave you one assignment also, if you remember. So what was that assignment? So I told you to represent this two variable polynomial using the two-dimensional array. So have you done that? Anyone? Can you show me? In chat box you can um, answer, or you can share your screen, and or you turn on your camera if you have. Yes, no one? Hello? Okay, so I can uh, understand from your response that no one has done this. So here, based on the degree, we have to decide the size of the array. The highest degree of the any term of any variable will be the size of array. So here we have a third degree polynomial. So we'll take the 3 by 3 matrix. Okay. So let's insert. Okay, one more than the degree, because for x raised to 0 also. So x raised to 0 to x raised to 3. So we need to take 4 by 4 matrix, right? PC is very slow. So I have taken 4 by 4 matrix, right? And here, as you how to represent this. So this is, if you see at the look at the slide, how it is represented in the slide. You see the these are x terms and these are y terms. Okay, and so x raised to 0, x raised to 1, and so on. In the same way, y raised to 0, y raised to 1, y raised to 2, and so on. So here also, in our representation of this, you consider this as here y y square and y cube. In the same way here, y raised to 0. Here y raised to 1. Here y raised to 0. The same way, x raised to 0, then x raised to 1, and x raised to 2, and x raised to 3. So now let's start. First of all, x square. X square has a coefficient 1. So find out x square and say 1 here, right? Then here y square has also 1 y square coefficient, and there is no x coefficient, so y square equal to 1. Then 5x square y, so go to the x square and y, this. So here I will represent 5. Is my screen visible? Someone please answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next term is 6.
5 minutes.
Yes.
So there is delay of 5 minutes in video.
How much delay?
5 minutes.
5 minutes delay.
Yes, sir.
So right now what you are looking at screen?
151 is written only.
So 5 minutes is very, I mean, it means since the lecture has started, we have spent just 5 minutes. Na this.
No, sir. Here in my screen it is showing 17 minutes, and in your screen pop-up it is showing 12:47.
Okay, in your what is the time?
17:59, and your 12:53.
No, where you are seeing 12:53? I am not able to see right now. This lecture duration 13:21 right now.
In my screen it is showing 18:19.
Okay, it is because the recording I started from I started recording a little bit after. That's why it shows so. It is not 5 minutes delay. For example, let's now I write something next term. You tell me when it appears on your screen. So now
Okay.
for this 6x cube y square, so go to the x cube row, and in the y square column, write down the 6. Look, I have typed 6. Now you tell me, has it appeared?
No, sir.
Now?
No.
Now?
No.
Still not?
Yes.
Now.
Here.
Yes, now.
Okay, so it takes few seconds delay. 5 to 10 second delay is there. Okay,
Yes.
now 8. Okay, can anyone tell me where should I write 8? If you want, I can give you the control of arrow so that you can show me the location. Where should I put 8 in this array?
X0, Y0.
Yeah, x0, y0, right. So here we will put 8. Look, I have typed 8. Is it visible to you?
No. No, sir.
Now it's
Yes.
visible.
Yeah, now it's visible. So this is means I have to take care about this. Okay. So rest all entries will be 0, right? Now I have done all entries 0. Is it visible to you, all zeros?
No, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, good. So this is how we can represent this polynomial in the array. Now let's come back to our PPT. So now is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we have seen the two application. We are looking at the applications of array, and we have seen one symbol manipulation. But now, if you look at the symbol manipulation, most of the entries are 0 in the matrix, right? Can you see this slide of symbol manipulation? Two variable polynomial.
Yes, sir.
So in this, yeah, so in this slide, you can see I have many entries are 0. Yes or no? Right. So because there are many entries 0, this type of matrix is called sparse matrix. So our next application of array is to represent the sparse, to deal with the sparse matrix, right? You can. So what is sparse matrix? So a sparse matrix is the matrix having most of the element value of 0. So the matrix with most of elements having 0 values is called the sparse matrix. So the last three matrices we have which we have seen for representing the two variable polynomial. In all these three matrices, we had many zeros compared to the some values. So this type of matrix is called sparse matrix, and this sparse matrix can be represented in two ways. One is using array and another way is using linked list. Now we are looking at the applications of array. So how we can represent it using array, that is the main concern, but I also have included how we can represent the sparse matrix using the linked list. Now what are the advantages to represent the sparse matrix using array or linked list? So the first advantage is obviously a storage, because many elements are 0. So if I represent it with the array and I save the spaces, then it would be more efficient storage wise. And second, compute time. So compute time also will be saved. Now the one thing I want to tell you is the array which we have seen here, or matrices which we have seen here, are very small, 4 by 4, right, like that. But now suppose there is some image, and that image is comprised of 1024 by 1024 pixels, right? So now what will be the size of array if every pixel requires 3 by 3 locations, means 9 locations are required by every pixel. So what will be the size of the array or matrix? Can anyone tell? I have an image 1024 pixel by 1024, and every pixel is stored in 3 by 3 locations of the array. So if I want to store this image in the array, how much will be the size of array? How many rows and how many columns? No one? Hello? Anyone has written something in chat? Write down in chat. Okay, one answer is 3072. Yes, it is correct, but you should write like this: 3072 by 3072. Okay, so this is the answer. So now you see if yeah, 21 has answered correctly. So this 3072 is the size of array. Now you can imagine if most of the elements are 0 in this array, then how much space is wasted, right? Suppose every element of the array occupies 24 bytes, right? And suppose this 3000 by 3000 means how many elements? Total how many elements? Approximately 3000 into 3000, right? So these are how many elements in the array? $90 lakhs, right? Yeah, 9 million. So this many elements are there, and now if most of the elements are 0, say 70 lakh elements are 0, right? And if every element occupies 24 bytes, then how much memory is required to represent this? 7 into 24. So you can now I want to make you realize that sparse matrix is a matrix which requires lots of storage, unnecessarily waste the storage. So how we can represent it so that this we can save. So now, so let's first of all see sparse matrix representation using array. Then after that we will see how we can represent sparse matrix using linked list. So now can you see my slide of this sparse matrix representation using array so that I can go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here you can see every sparse matrix is represented by another array of 3 rows. Okay. And first is the row index. In the first row we have a row index. In the second row we have a column index. And in the third row we have value, right? So for this array which you are sparse matrix, I should say, the sparse matrix which you are looking on the screen. So the first you have to go to the first non-zero value. So first non-zero value is 3, right? First non-zero value is 3. Let me start my Epic pen. Okay. So Okay, so in this representation, uh, go to the first non-zero value, that is 3, right? So 3 is the first non-zero value. So in the 3-row array, you store the row index. The row index for this non-zero value is 0, right? Then the column value for this non-zero value 3 is 2, right? And the value of that location is 3. So this is the first non-zero value represented in the one column of the array. Now, have you seen marking everything? Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now next non-zero value is 4. So this 4, this next non-zero value 4, we have row index 0, we have column index 4, right? And the value is 4, right? And for next non-zero value, that is 5, we have row value 1, we have column value 2, and we have non-zero value, that is 5. Are you getting this? Any questions? Have you understood how sparse matrix can be represented using an array of 3 rows? So now you tell me, what will be the size of array for any sparse matrix? In the chat section, I am waiting for your replies. Have you got my question? For any sparse matrix to be represented using array, what will be the size of array? Please write down in chat box. Uh, 3 by n. Yes. What is the meaning of n? Anyone else? N means any number of column. No. Anyone else? Your answer is correct, 3 by n, but n represents what? For some sparse matrix, you should say some descriptive answer for n. What n will be equivalent to? Number of pixels. No. N will be 3 by n is the correct answer. 3 number of rows and n number of columns. Yeah, 8 number has rightly said. Yeah, 58 also answered correctly. Number of non-zero items. Yeah. So 3 by number of non-zero terms. Yeah, very good. So this is the answer. So let's go back to our slides. Okay. Any questions? No. Okay. So let's go ahead. Can you see my next slide? I have changed the slide.
No, sir.
Okay. When it comes, you tell me so that I can go ahead.
Right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is now a strange situation. The student says, faculty, now you speak and now you don't speak. So see the power Corona has given to you people, right? So okay, now because you allowed me to speak, now I will speak. So on this slide you can see sparse matrix representation using linked list. So you have not studied linked list yet. Now we will study it later on, but you can understand from the image how linked list is represented. The implementation and everything we will see later on, but now the representation of sparse matrix using linked list, it requires 4 entries in the every node. Linked list is what? Group of nodes. Linked list is group of nodes connected with each other. Okay, so here you can see in the every node I require row index, column index, non-zero value, and the address of the next node, right? So here you can see, so this is the node. This is a typical node where it is row, column, value and address of the next node, right? Now let's represent it using the linked list. For the linked list, we have first non-zero value is here. Now we have to take a node, and in that node we have to store the row index, then column index, and then value, and the next address point to the next node. So in this first node, this is my first node. So what I say, yeah, so this is my first node. So in this first node, my row value is 0, so I will store 0. Then column value is 2, so I will store 2. Then my value is 3, and next address will go to the next node if I have more non-zero value. So I have, so now for the second node, in the second node my row index is 0, column index is 4 and the value is 4. Then for the third node, my third non-zero value is this 5. So for that the row index is 1, column index is 2, and my value is 5, and so on, right? And so on, we have to keep adding nodes until we have last non-zero value, that is 6. So the row index is 3, column index is 2, and the value is 6, right? And because there is no next node, we will put null into the next address of the node. So clear everyone? So in this linked list, how many number of nodes I require to represent the sparse matrix? Though as many number of non-zero values are there. Now one very important question I want to ask you. When I say sparse matrix, okay, so when it would be beneficial to represent a sparse matrix using array or linked list? Can anyone tell me? I have changed the slide. Have you seen? I have come back to the previous slide. Is it visible on your screen? Array.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so now this in array, when it is beneficial to represent the sparse metric using array. So here you can see I have 4 by 5 matrix, right? So total how many locations? 20 locations, right? And now on the in the representation of this sparse matrix, how many locations I have used? This is 3 by 1, 2, 3, 6. 3 by 6. So the number of location I have used is 18. I have typed 18. Can you see on the screen 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So from this 20, it has come to 18. So we are gaining only 2 locations. If I had one more non-zero value, it would have been 21 locations. So it was better to represent the matrix itself instead of sparse matrix, isn't it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So in the chat box, you tell me how many, so which sparse matrix uh, is beneficial. So the definition of sparse matrix is more than the half entries are 0. All these matrices are sparse matrix, but sometimes uh, the sparse matrix representation requires more memory than the sparse matrix. So when it is beneficial, can anyone tell me in some descriptive way or in some equation form in the chat box when it is good to use representation of sparse matrix? I am waiting for your answers. Have you got the question? Yeah. 3 into number of non-zero terms. This is the previous answer. Okay. Have you, are you trying or should I declare the answer? So the answer is when your sparse matrix has the non-zero values less than number of total elements divided by 3, because every non-zero element requires 3 locations, right? So here how many locations are non-zero? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 locations are non-zero in my sparse matrix, and 6 is less than 20 by 3. Is it correct? Yes. So I will get the, so the equation is number of non-zero values are less than n by 3, where n is the total size of the sparse matrix, or I should write here n multiplied by or let me write the descriptive answer, columns multiplied by rows divided by 3. Can you see the equation on the screen? I just have written it. Can you see the equation? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this equation, through this equation you can know the sparse matrix should be represented using array or not. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now there is a new topic, that is stack, and how much time we have taken. Okay, 43 minutes. So okay, 226 already there. Okay, so we will continue with stack in the next lecture tomorrow at 10:30, right? So your next lab is also on the stack. So let me stop recording. Any questions from your side or any suggestions? And one more thing I want to ask all of you, how all of you are performing in lab? Right, all of you should perform every programs, and any program if you don't understand you can ask me in lecture also if I am not taking your lab, and don't worry for any program, right? Every program we will do. And anything else from your side? So I stop sharing the screen. Okay, it is already stopped. Let me take attendance. Okay, so attendance I have taken. And now anything you want to? Yes, roll number 3. Okay, now you can all can leave now. So we end lecture here, and Hello, roll number 7, 23, 29, 31, 70. Anyone present? So 31 and 70. Roll number 31 and 70. Roll number 7, 31. Roll number 31. Roll number 31.